You know what? There we go. I was muted and you guys haven't heard anything I've said. Oh boy. So welcome to Christian Warrior Talk, the the Christian fellowship show where we drop everything and celebrate our victories, learn from our setbacks, and talk about all things Christian walk, as well as prepping, homesteading, tactics, current events, pretty much everything. So sorry about the user error there and having my mic still muted. My mic was muted because I've been playing a little bit of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which I have really enjoyed. Yes, I game. I've been a gamer for a long time. And a friend of mine that I've been working with, like I said, I want to thank Tyler, who's been my workout partner now for about 3 weeks. And, been feeling better in the gym, feeling healthier, seeing changes, just everything's great. And happy 4th of July. I think this is 4th of July weekend. 4th of July is Tuesday, so I guess that makes us the weekend before. So that makes it 4th of July weekend. It's also the weekend that you guys know. Since Juneteenth took my birthday. Oh, strength and honor, Steve.
Strength and honor, strength and honor, strength and honor.
And who's ever on Facebook, it just says Facebook user. I can't see who you are. So I think you're probably watching in the Patriot Crusader Mission group. If you go to our Just Patriot Crusader Mission page or you watch it from YouTube, I'll be able to get your name. But because Patriot Crusader Mission group is private, it just says Facebook user. But I would be happy to strength and honor you. So here's to my workout partner, Tyler.
Strength and honor, strength and honor, strength and honor.
For me and working out in the gym. So again, grab your cold beverages. It's going to be a good one or a fun one tonight, I hope. Got a lot, Lisa.
Strength and honor, strength and honor, strength and honor.
Job guy, and good evening. And hey, good. We made it to Friday, everyone.
Strength and honor.
What a great week this was compared to last week. So, as you guys know, last week and the time building up to that was just such a struggle, and really had to work through some issues, and building my trust and faith in the Lord. Miss you too, brother. The stress was ratcheting up, everything was going on, and I was blessed, thankful to be able to surrender it to the Lord. And the more I surrendered it to the Lord, the more things started getting better. Yeah, what's up? That's right. I am a frog man. But, it all came to a funny head, if you want to hear it. So I think it was Monday, and I wanted to work out. It might have been Tuesday. Thank you. The happy birthday wishes. This is 4th of July is my birthday, so I'm going to celebrate it tomorrow. I don't think anyone else on the planet's going to celebrate it tomorrow with me. I think everyone is pretty much over me moving my birthday to the 4th. But it is what it is. It's just a day on the calendar anyways, but I appreciate your happy birthday, Lisa. So anyways, here I am. It's Tuesday. I'm looking forward to my workout. I'm going to do pull-ups. But I knew in my head, I'm like, man, I know the pigs need to have their pen weed whacked. I know because it was overgrown and it was decreasing the shock value on it. And I'm like, God, I can wait one more day, right? And so I put it off. And I knew that the side-by-side needed gas. And I'm like, I can make it one more day. So the hardest working woman in the world, my wife, who is just awesome. So here I am. I come rolling out. I'm 2 sets into my pull-ups. And Lauren pulls up and says the side-by-side's out of gas. And I'm like, well, that's my fault. I'll stop my workout. I'll go 5 minutes down the road and 5 minutes back and get gas. And so I hop in the truck, I buzz down there, and I'm filling up my 5 gallon tank. And as I'm filling up my 5 gallon tank, I finish that. And I'm like, you know what? I might as well fill up my truck here while I'm here, while I'm putting this away. So instead of being smart and like, I don't know what I was thinking, but I tried to go under the hose that was filling my truck. Now, normally those things are so finicky, you even touch them, they shut off. This one did not. And I'll tell you what, I took a gasoline shower from head to toe, feet soaked everywhere. And my feet were burning. It was awful. Danae!
Strength and honor. Strength and honor. Strength and honor.
And strength and honor to you. And so now I'm sitting there covered in gas. I got to work out. I got to get in my nice truck and get it all smelling like gas. So I get in there, I fly home, put the gas in the side-by-side, go down, feed the pigs, come back, and I jump in the shower, still in the gasoline clothes, right? I am still covered in gas. The whole house smells like gas because of me. I get in the shower and I'm rinsing gas off of me and my clothes and my shoes down the drain. So I'm doing that. I get that done. Smells awful in the house, of course. So I'm like, winter this. But the great thing is I'm not raging yet, right? Like normally, particularly the 2 weeks before that, I'd be raging. So I just saying, just keep going, just keep doing the right thing. So then I get dressed for the second time and I'm heading out. And Lauren, right as I break the door, like come outside the door, she's like, the pigs are out. I'm like, oh man, I didn't weed whack the pigs, that pig pen, and now the pigs are out. All right, this workout's done. Loud and clear. I read you, Lord. This is me screwing up. I procrastinated. This isn't Satan. This isn't the devil. This isn't demons. Jason was an idiot. Yeah. So now I'm down there with my workout partner, Tyler, and we're weed whacking, the wire for the pigs, and we get them taken away. And, normally Jason would have been a miserable wretch, pissed off of the world, blah, 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 having to, repent a lot. But I just laughed, rolled with it, apologized to everybody because it was my fault. I took ownership of it. And because of that, that was it. It was over from that point on. All my stress, all my anger, all my everything from the previous weeks, all the drama. I mean, from that point on, things took off like a skyrocket, a rocket ship, like an Elon Musk rocket ship, and got way better. I mean, things we weren't even counting on got better, and we made it through that time. So, again, learning to lean into God when the world is coming undone is, or when your world is coming undone, not the world, is huge. I mean, absolutely huge. We finally got our letter back from the IRS like 2 years later, saying that we are recognized by the IRS as Patriot Crusader Mission, the church. So again, it's post-dated back to when we filed it, but still it took forever. And that's because our name, I'm sure of it, got like screened, rescreened, screened again, screened, and then rescreened and screened again. But we made it, and we're thankful for that. So yeah, my body's feeling great. My knees, I'm really excited because I get my next round of knee injections, I think on the 7th. And my knees are the only thing that's holding me back right now. And I'll be great. And I'm chomping at the bit. And then I think the following week I get my back injections. So, I mean, things are really stacking up nice for me. and I can't wait to see how that goes. So, um, really pumped and excited, and looking forward to all that's to come. You know, um, I've used back in buds. I used DMSO. I used to take Motrin, break it into powder and soak it in DMSO, and then run DMSO over my shins, which were, what ended up becoming stress fractures and everything else. DMSO is a compound that they rub on racehorses to like rapidly move stuff transdermally into the bloodstream. So I've used DMSO in the past, but the only thing that seems to work for my knees right now is cortisone. Cortisone in there. I mean, it's undeniable. I get a shot of cortisone, and the next day I feel 18. I mean, it's miraculous. It's I take glucosamine MSM. It does nothing, but I take it anyways. Does absolutely nothing for me. The only thing I can say is that systemic anti-inflammatories. So when I take prednisone makes all my joints feel like they're 21 again. Obviously, you can't stay on prednisone, but obviously my body is in an inflammation response. So anything anti-inflammation would definitely work to beat that down, because that's what prednisone does, right? Prednisone goes through your entire body, de-inflames where it's at. So doing a 10-day taper works on my back, calm my back down when I'm, going through a back attack. It also works for my knees. But we'll see. Things are moving along, and I'm hoping that that I listen to my body and I don't break myself again for the 100th time. And I'm hoping I don't get sidetracked with a bunch of things that I shouldn't be sidetracked on. Staying focused, doing the gym time tonight. Only had about 40 minutes to work out, so we did nothing but supersets, and that was a great experience too. So tomorrow, I thought, I don't think I have fibromyalgia. I know I think it's basically 16 to 20 years, if not 30 years, of being hard on my body. Jumping out of planes, rooftops, hopping over fences, powerlifting, doing all that stuff takes a toll. So that's basically, got a lot of bone on bone, and I got a lot of wear and tear, and that comes with serving your country. It comes with being a cop, and it comes with being a fighter and a warrior and all those other things. And and now I'm hoping for the next phase of my life to be getting strong, not crazy strong like I used to be, not bench pressing 500 pounds and the rest of it, but being strong and flexible and healthy, and I'm working my way there. And I'm not trying to do it in a big sprint. I'm doing the slow, steady race, which is why you see me drinking beer tonight. I'm enjoying myself with my favorite beer in the whole world, Sam Adams Porch Rocker. To me, it is the only beer I drink anymore. And it's unfortunate because it's really expensive. But this 4th of July, this is the only 4th of July where I really don't have anything planned. Don't have any friends coming over. Got my buddy Tyler coming over, my neighbor across the street. But nothing big, And, that's just a reminder that we haven't grown our network here as large as we'd want to. 4th of July, typically it's one of my favorite holidays, if not the, and I'd wanted to spend it around a bunch of people having a great time. And working from home and working a lot of jobs and doing this, and unfortunately, or fortunately, which way we look at it, preaching the truth, you burn a lot of bridges, and you turn a lot of people away. So tomorrow is going to be about quality time with the family, getting stuff done, and maybe an apple pie. We'll see. There's a great bakery here that has an amazing apple pie that I would love to celebrate my birthday with. And then tomorrow I want to absolutely do a marathon workout and boxing workout. So we're hoping to get the pigs castrated tomorrow. And I thought we were doing chickens, but I guess I totally, which is nothing new. I'm miscommunicating with my wife lately, and and I gotta clean that up too. So, I let me talk to my man, see what his plans are. Surely he said no biggie. I think we're gonna end up just like having a fire tomorrow night here, and then church service on Sunday, and and I'm hoping beyond all hope. Great, that would be awesome, Lisa. The other thing is we got the crane up since we last spoken. So the pig crane is up and the cow crane is up. So we're gonna do bubbles next weekend. So it's gonna be drinking through the fire hose this week on how to process, a giant pig, and do that in hot weather instead of doing it in the cold weather when there's no bugs. So we're gonna have to put up screens and all kinds of stuff to make sure that we don't have a bunch of problems there. And I'm gonna go to the hardware store and all that stuff and see what I can do about stringing a tent or a screen over that to make sure we don't have any problems with dealing with bugs or any problems with like that. Um, just crazy busy, which is just awesome. The only thing is I think I've been focusing a little bit too much on me, which is why I'm feeling good, and I think that has taken a cost on my wife. So this is typically what happens is, I'll pull back from support assist role. I'll focus on me. Lauren will burn in, and then I have to pour back into her, and then I go to Eck, and that's the cycle right now. We need to figure out a sustainable solution to that. Because, we could have 100 bees. That's my daughter bee, and it would be effortless. But Anya, 100% drives us crazy. She is a very difficult, needy child at this stage. It's not because of, we don't think of anything. We think that she's so intelligent. She's frustrated with her own body and her own limitations. And it's a test of wills, and it's being 100% on guard because she will destroy herself, the house, everything around her if you give her a chance. And she's only, a year and a half old. So, we really miss my mom. My mom has been was an awesome person. I miss having my mom back. We've been talking to her every day on the phone. She's coming. She's already packed to move here, and she's coming, I think, the end of August. So we're excited about that. I think her house is going on the market in a week. Oh man, sorry to hear that your HVAC is busted. That sucks. It's been pretty hot here, but cooler, way cooler and less nasty than other places we live. Charlottesville was an oven compared to where we're at. Being up here in the mountains is just a lot cooler. Even though it's been, I think tomorrow it's gonna be 92 or something like that. But that's, we're in the hot season right now, and it's like 2 weeks of this, and then it starts getting cooler, and it's great. So, anyways, we also have our 100 Freedom Rangers coming in. Those are 100 meat birds coming in 2 weeks. So we're excited about that. Our 42 buff Orpington birds ready to go outside. I know Lauren's been working on a project in the chicken coop, getting that pinned up and strung out. I thought Lauren was going to make it in here for the show, but I haven't heard her from it. So she must be, she hasn't checked in with me at all. So she must be dealing with Anya or something like that. So, the buff Orpingtons are going outside. They are great. We already have a bunch of broody mamas who've hatched out, I don't know, maybe 20 chicks that are running around out there and they're starting to grow. So, I mean, it's a great season. I mean, we're going into a sad part, when we have to harvest bubbles. And, I know a lot of SEAL team guys and hunters are like, oh, Jay, you're such a wimp. Whatever, you feel bad for your pig. And yeah, I do. I like my animals. So it's always a sad day when I have to go shoot one. And yes, it feeds our family. And yes, we'll treasure it. And yes, they had a good life and all those things, but it still sucks. It still sucks. And I never look forward to it. That's why you always celebrate new life on the farm so much. Um, the clover, like we said, on the top of the hill has exploded. It looks great. The cross, you guys wouldn't even recognize it right now. We're going to continue to beat the trees down beyond the cross to open up that view to be even more spacious. And I know we were hoping this week to get the crosses. We're calling it the Cross at Patriot Crusader Mission. That's what we're calling it, just for brand integrity. So the cross, and then it'll be at Patriot Crusader Mission, and most people just call it the cross at the end. But it'll be the Cross at Patriot Crusader Mission, and I name them. I name them all. Typically, I name the food ones food. So bacon, pork chop, etc. And then Bubbles is the first one that will be violating that rule because everyone else has been named after that. So Bubbles will be the first one, and Bubbles will be the last one. They'll all be named some type of food item from that point on. But yeah, we're really hoping to get the page up and all that, and get booking and start booking the top of the cross out for weddings and for other functions. So so again, share out those pictures, but wait until we get the page up because it's useless. There's nowhere for anyone to go with it. It's really kind of really should have been done by now, but I'll get it taken care of tomorrow. And so then we'll have a farm, a wedding venue, a church, all that stuff going on here. I really do want to get another forging going. It's been a long time since we've done a forging, and I think it'd be really, really cool to have another one. It's just a matter of rebuilding this audience from scratch, because obviously when we shelved this for a while, you lose a lot of people. So, when that happens, you just got to start over and build up an audience and then, set a date and run another forging. And then people come to the forging and, you're back in your community and you're off and running. I know it's been the forging events in the past have 100% been transformative for everyone who's been there. They've all been very well received. And, I'd like to get back to doing those. The summer in homesteading is so different from all the other months. All the other months, you are like fall is still the best, in my opinion. There's still usually enough on the ground for them to eat. There's no mud yet. The bugs are gone. It's beautiful. It's cool. Like it's great weather for farming, right? Summer is beating back the jungle. Beating back the jungle. Victor, what's up?
Strength and honor. Strength and honor. Strength and honor.
Good to see you, brother. Like I said, good to see you, Victor. It's beating back the jungle. I mean, you gotta, everyone else who owns property knows you gotta mow, you gotta weed whack, you gotta weed, you gotta do all that stuff. Now do it for 44 acres. And do it so, when you have electric wire everywhere, you gotta keep everything off of that. But again, I find the more that I'm outside and the less I'm behind a computer, the happier I am. this week. I didn't get a chance to do a lot of that. We don't have a lot of ticks here, Victor. I must say, Tennessee has been blessedly low on ticks for us compared to Virginia. Virginia was awful. We have nothing here, and it might be because we have 100 chickens that are out there decimating everything. I mean, we don't have a lot of bugs. I haven't had a mosquito bite this year. Not a mosquito bite this year. So, we're in a pretty cool place for that. It's been really good. I wonder when we put the pond out there back if that'll change everything or not. But as far as right now, we got we got no very little bugs here at all. Very few bugs. So um, the other thing that we're finding challenging about homesteading, because I know a lot of you guys are thinking about it or in the process of it, is finding the correct scale, right? Like when you're just doing it for you and the family, you know, you know, trying to find the right scale with the amount of chickens. Are you trying to raise enough to offset your costs? We are trying to define that balance with the chickens and all that stuff. But with the chickens, the turkeys, the amount of stuff we have going. Last year, I don't remember us feeding the chickens at all. And this year, we're still spending $113 a week on chicken feed, which just absolutely floored me. I mean, that's a car payment. That's literally a car payment, a nice car payment, and we're spending that on chickens. So, trying to figure out that balance, that's chickens and turkeys. All right, the turkeys, we're down to 7 turkeys because our neighbor's dog killed one of our turkeys, um, which sucked. But that's still a lot of money. I mean, $113 on one animal, you know. So that, I mean, they're more expensive than our hogs, our cows. They're more expensive than everything. They're chickens. So, trying to figure that out. And I think as we get better management and we get better control of our flock and everything else, I think we'll be able to get a more cost effective ratio. And I think getting our flock down, that's what we're hoping to do with the buff Orpingtons. We're hoping to eat all the roosters as they rebreed, as they repopulate, as they do stuff. So we'll never be, I'm hoping to never do another order of Freedom Rangers. This will be our last order of Freedom Rangers. We have 100 coming. I think 75 are ours. And it is, that I think that'll be easier and more manageable for us. The black Australorps have been a dream breed for us as far as our chickens go. They really have been. So a couple things. Victor says, are you planning on any bonfires third or fourth weekend of July? Are you planning on any bonfires on the third or fourth weekend of July? We are planning on doing a fire probably tomorrow, and I think I'm going to try to rent a pontoon boat on the third, which is a Monday because I'm taking that off. And I think we're going to go for, go and barbecue on an island and have a good time and see what's up. And really looking forward to that. I'm hoping we can do that. If not, we'll do it relatively soon. But really looking forward to that. Lisa says, please here, I use straight vinegar on the cats and spray inside. Yeah, God bless you with cats. I want nothing to do with them. I don't want anything to do with any indoor animal anymore. Tick season here in my area has gotten a little bit better in the past few years overall. This year has been much worse than normal for the Virginia mountains. Yeah, I just remember every year being terrible in Virginia, and every year I would meet somebody else that had gotten that tick-borne illness where they couldn't eat meat ever again. I mean, close friends of mine got bit by that who were, hamburger steak loving, and they couldn't even walk into a restaurant and smell it. They go in anaphylactic shock. So I'm glad I was able to avoid that. And it's not here from what I've seen. We've pulled a couple off, but nothing like Virginia. Nothing like Virginia. I want to get into politics a little bit, and I'm probably going to piss off a lot of you guys with what I'm about to say, but I am absolutely disgusted that Donald Trump says that he doesn't want to debate. He's not going to do the first debate. Like, are we Democrats now? We pick, choose what we want to do before an election. I mean, I've got people defending him, and I'm like, wait a minute. This is what we're going to be doing for the rest of whenever. If you're telling me that that presidential candidates don't have to debate, then it's basically whoever has the best media machine. We're never going to get to see who anybody really is. And and I'll say it here: if he doesn't debate, he's a freaking coward. He's a coward if he doesn't debate. If he does debate, I'm wide open. He can win my vote. Okay. Even though I don't think he can win, and I want DeSantis to go, for somebody in the Republican Party to say they're not going to debate, I turn this on the same people that I know that are on the Republican side who criticized Biden for not debating. And it's like, you can't have it both ways, guys. Everyone should be forced to debate to defend themselves. And I just find it completely weak sauce that any Republican could be up for that and not be up for a debate, particularly a Republican primary debate. Like, for real, like, it's a Republican primary debate. I just think if we let that slide, again, Donald Trump is a candidate for president. He's not a king. It's not his by right. Okay, it's not his by right. He's got to debate and he's going to win it. Right. So Danae says, I completely agree. Trump needs to debate. I think that weak debate he had with Biden is part of the reason he lost the last election. There's a lot of reasons why that happened, and that's one of them. Again, it didn't help that he had hostile orators or debaters or whatever. Yeah, it fills multiple purposes. Definitely needed. We need the debate. We need the debate because somebody has to turn to Trump and say the following. You want to be president again, right? You did some great things. And here's my problem with Trump craze. Trump derangement syndrome goes both ways. All right. It goes, he's the devil incarnate and people lose their mind on him. But then there are people who think he's like a holy figure, that he's sent from God. Like, I've never even heard Trump say the word name Jesus Christ, like, ever. Has anyone here heard him say, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? No. I've never heard anyone can say that. Right? So somebody needs to turn to him and say, love all the great things you did. But here's the things that you sucked at. You shut down the government. You pushed COVID. You did Operation Warp Speed and you took credit for it and said it was the greatest thing ever and produced 3 unsafe vaccines that do nothing. You allowed the election to, you say, not, be stolen. Well, you're the most powerful person in the world, then why didn't you stop it? Like, you're never going to have as much power as you did at that moment. And it's just, somebody needs to ask him those questions. It's my job as the head of my family to watch the candidates because my loyalty is to my family. And I got to call balls and strikes as I see them. I have to call balls and strikes. So if you do something great, attaboy. If you do something that sucks, admit it, own it, say you're sorry, and move on. And that's something that he seems incapable of doing. So, anyways, I've got a lot of friends, guys, I'm as pro Donald Trump as Donald Trump gets, but, I don't think he's Jesus come again. I don't think he's sent by God himself to do anything. And all these freaking embarrassments that call themselves prophets that predicted all this stuff and none of it came true. They should be ashamed of themselves. They should be ashamed of themselves. So, it is what it is. If Trump is the candidate, I will vote for him. gladly I will campaign for him. But here's what I think: if Donald Trump couldn't win when he was president, there's no way he can win now. There's no way he can win now. So why not let somebody else go? Let somebody else get a shot. Now, I did legitimately hear a reason. I did hear a legitimate thing that I think Don Jr. brought up, and it was no other candidate has the money to survive the lawsuits and the investigations and that it would bankrupt anybody. That is a credible point. It is a credible point. But outside of that, I don't see a single reason to vote for him. When I can get this, the same policies, if not better, with DeSantis. I just don't. And you don't get any of the baggage. You don't get the porn stars. You don't get all the other nonsense. You don't have any of the other garbage. You don't have a guy who puts his foot in his mouth every other day. You don't have any of that. You don't have someone who deferred on the draft 5 times. Instead, you have somebody who enlisted and actually went in the military. Like, deferring on the draft should be disqualifying for president in itself. But, whatever on that, right? Again, we're going to call him the greatest patriot that ever lived. All rappers singing his name and everything else. Now, I was a diehard Trumper. I was at, the Million MAGA March. I was in D.C. I was at the Richmond rally. I was at the 6th, right? I stayed at the Washington Monument, and I left while Trump was still speaking because I was just there to be counted for the head count for the cameras and leave. And there was nothing new to being said. And as we were coming out, Antifa was coming in. But so I'm not. I can't stand the Never Trumpers. Never Trumpers. I'll never work with them. They are too arrogant and too self-righteous to be trusted. So, I'm going to vote for who the Republican candidate is. Don't like The Apprentice. Just saw for the rest. I don't know what The Apprentice is. Is that Trump's reality show from back 10 years ago? But so anyways, I had to get into a little politics. I apologize. I just can't believe that one of the major that any Republican is saying we don't need to have debates. And I think anyone who doesn't debate should be disqualified from running for office. Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. So, other than that, I haven't really paid attention to the news. Like you guys, most of you guys have unplugged from Fox News. When they fired Tucker, watch out. I'll tell you that in my honest, assessment of the Tucker Carlson Twitter stuff is it's good, but it's not enough. It's not enough. Tucker coming in and basically doing his opening monologue for 15 minutes on certain topics occasionally. I think I haven't seen anything that's like shaking the ground. I haven't seen anything that's shaking the foundations of the news world or him say anything that he wouldn't have said otherwise other than, criticizing Fox News backhandedly in a couple comments. Yeah, well, I understand, Tube Guy, but it's been better off for my blood pressure. I'm less angry. I'm less stressed out. I'm less everything, but I'm also less informed. And I'll be honest with you. You open my phone, I've got Breitbart on there, and they're okay. I got the Epoch Times. They're great print, but they're very slow. And everything is an anti-China spin, which, I'm anti-China, fine, but I don't I prefer other stories, and I want them faster than what they're delivering. The Daily Wire, I subscribe to it, and I barely watch it. I watch Jordan Peterson on there only, and I can get Jordan Peterson on on YouTube enough. I just don't have enough time to where I care to go on there. I've like Ben Shapiro's turning me off more and more. You know, um, um, Canon Plus, Doug Wilson's um, media conglomerate has been amazing, and this is something you guys should pick up. This is let me see if I can get it to focus. Mere Christendom by Doug Wilson. Pick it up. It's the playbook on how the church conquers the world. I got the box set. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah. So, Tube guys, somebody's going to show me how to use Twitter for news. I haven't figured out how to use it for news. I just get a ton of stuff I don't really care about. I subscribe to Tucker. I subscribe to some other people. Mainly the stuff that gets pushed on me. I'm not getting like true news. Like, and maybe I'm using it wrong. But I'm not finding it to be the ultra rich news source that other people find it. And I want to use it. Because I want stuff in real time and I want to be able to see it and I want it at the speed of life. But I haven't found a way to do that yet. Maybe I'm not following enough media channels, but I don't want to follow Fox. There's probably some Substack guys that are good, but I'm just not in the know. Not in the know. So I find myself, going to the Epic Times, and I feel like I'm a day, 2 to 3 times a day. And I just feel like I'm behind. Like they're so slow. Breitbart, again, hyper political, overly pro one candidate. I tried to watch One American News with Ed Henry. I used to like Ed Henry. Again, I met him at the NRB, but it's so over the top for one candidate that I'm not going to watch propaganda. I want someone to call balls and strikes again. Why is it so hard for the news media to call balls and strikes? Just call balls and strikes. It's obvious. But no, everybody wants to push their guy. And that's what drives me insane. That's what I loved about Tucker. It's what made Tucker Tucker. He would call anyone out to their face. We need more of that. So, Lisa, I see you putting a lot of stuff. Executive Order 13848, election interference, ex-Army. I don't know what, explain optics by law. I don't know what you're referring to there, so I apologize. I'm not read in on, on that. Do I believe there's election interference? Absolutely. I believe there's election interference from Google, from YouTube, from Twitter, from previous Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the way through everything, right? When everything's owned by one side of the aisle and they're willing to put their hands on the scales for that, well, then, of course, there's going to be, some form of interference in some way, right? So again, in my opinion, the thing that's scariest right now is the military recruiting all these liberals and the LGBTQ weirdos and everything else, because Barack Obama back in 2008 realized that they couldn't do a new world order takeover of the United States with a patriotic Christian military. They couldn't do it. So they had to drive out everybody with COVID and then replace them with woke people who consider Christian conservatives, to be exterminated. They want to exterminate us, right? So, that's what I think they've been in the process of doing in the military with all this wokeness and all this stuff. It's going to drive out any red-blooded, alpha male personality out of there to make room for the blue-haired, America hating, male hating, people in there. And that's I wouldn't let my kid serve in the military now, and that's coming from a vet. A vet who made a false idol of his own country for the first 37 years of his life. I made America my God and served her and did all that stuff. And then when I found Jesus, I got to see the true what was real, what wasn't, and saw how deceived I was. The military will not save you anymore. The military's woke. The Pentagon has been taken over for 20 plus years. It used to be just the top of the heads, and they knew they had to drive away the meat eaters, and they've done that. They've done that with all this ridiculousness. The military will not save us. And they own all the three-letter agencies. So if they own all the three-letter agencies and the military is not going to save us, well, guess what? That part doesn't look so good, which is why we need to follow Doug Wilson's plan. Yeah, the military is not in control of anything right now. I mean, the military-industrial complex has been calling the shots for 30 years until Trump, and then Trump bucked that trend, which is why I think they hated him so much and why they won't ever let him win anything again. But, pretty much I'm optimistic until the election. I'll check it out, Lisa. I don't know much about it, but I don't believe right now, as I'm sitting here, that the military is in control of anything. If they are, they're even more incompetent than they thought they were in the first place, because our border is wide open. Everything is destroyed right now. I've heard people say that Trump's still in control, which is freaking laughable. I mean, what clown world do you have to live in to think that Trump's still president right now or still calling the shots? It's like he's doing a great job. He's doing a great job of getting himself in prison right now if he's in charge, which I don't understand. So, but I've been wrong before, right? So, anyways, that's pretty much it for me tonight, guys. I'm going to go check in on my wife and see what happened to her tonight, and go from there. So, God bless you all. I love you, and I'll see you on Sunday. Have a great night. Bye.